Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, if you have bad credit, but you have a startup and you're trying to figure out where do I go get my first business credit card? Well, this video is going to help you. Also, understanding that there's some things that you need to avoid if you're trying to get more business credit funding. All right, it's very important that you understand it. Now, here's the thing about it. When trying to get business credit funding, if you don't have a Dunn's number, if you don't have a paydex score, or if you don't have net 30s, in terms of building business credit, the fastest, what you should do is make sure you have the right business bank account. Now, I know many people, they would start off with their community bank or their credit union like Navy Federal, getting a business bank account. However, because those financial institutions are not reporting your business transactions to the business credit bureaus, now you're just I wouldn't say you're wasting your time, but you're only building a relationship with them. So that makes it challenging for you to get more business credit funding with other lending institutions. Now, the top picks in terms of opening up a business bank account so that your business transaction will be reported to the business credit bureaus. You have Chase Bank, which reports to Experian Business, Equifax Business, Small Business Financial Exchange, and Dunn and Bradstreet. Then you have Citibank. Citibank reports the same way: Experian, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange, and Dunn and Bradstreet. Then you have Capital One. Capital One reports to Experian Business, Equifax Business, and Dunn and Bradstreet. Now, here's the key thing about this that you need to understand: that in terms of having the right bank account, you also should have business bank activity, meaning that if you open up your business bank account, make sure that you're either doing daily or weekly deposits. This is going to help with your business bank rating. All right, this is so important, and a lot of people miss this opportunity, so it makes it more challenging for them to get access to funding. All right, now that being said, the number one business credit card, if you have bad credit, you have a startup, where should you go? I would say Capital One. Now, here's the reason why. Capital One, as I stated, they report to Experian Business, Equifax Business, Small Business Financial Exchange, and Dunn and Bradstreet. But they have the Capital One Spark Business Card, Gold Card, okay? And that Gold Card, all you need is a 580 credit score. That's all, a 580 credit score for this here card. So that would be your easiest card to get. It's unsecured. All right. Now, your next card you want to possibly take a look at, if you have at least a 600 credit score, is CorePay. Now, with the CorePay, yes, it is a hard pull on your Experian. Sometimes that hard pull may not show up, but here's the key. If you apply for a business credit card and that inquiry is on your personal credit, you can contest that hard pull on your personal credit because that account is not on your personal credit file. Okay, so that's the key to getting hard inquiries off of your personal credit file. That's for business credit cards. So just understand that. Now, going back to CorePay, again, they report to Experian, Equifax, Dunn and Bradstreet, and all you need is a minimum of 600 credit score. Then you have A to B gas card. Now, with A to B gas card, keep in mind it is a net 7. So every 7 days you have to pay the bill, but it does report. It does report to Dunn and Bradstreet. And I also think it reports to Experian as well. And the reason that you want this card, again, it's EIN only. CorePay is EIN only. All right. So that way, for those of you that are focused on if a card is going to report on your personal credit file as well as the business, the only card that would report on both sides is your Capital One Spark card. So just keep that in mind. Another credit card you want to look at is the CoastPay, because all you need is fair credit, but it's EIN, no personal guarantee. All right, it's a card that's very easy to get, and anybody can get access to that card. Then your next card is the Capital One Tap card. Okay, so the Capital One Tap, it's a credit card, something like a line of credit. And so the thing about it, you do have to be making revenue in your business, but not a whole lot of revenue. If you're just making at least $2,500 a month, that's $2,500 a month, and you've been in business at least 6 months. Now, Capital One Tap is probably the card you want to look at. The reason is, for looking at this here card is because, one, EIN only. Number two is just showing that, hey, I actually have sales going on in my business, okay? That's the reason. Now, there's another card that you can get access to, but you have to have at least a 660 or higher PayPal business credit card that you want to look at. So here's the breakdown of this. If you start with these business credit cards, okay, to build a foundation, if you don't want to deal with Dunn and Bradstreet, if you don't want to deal with the net 30s, if you don't care about a paydex score, you just want to build up to start getting business credit funding, these cards will help you with the foundation. Then once you have these here cards reporting on your business credit file, then what I would encourage you to do, credit file, okay? Or look at my business. Also, that's another key thing that keeps people from getting business funding. The type of business, your NAICS code is so important that a lot of people miss this and they're wondering why and scratching their head why I'm not getting any funding. Now, the biggest threat to your business is, again, the wrong NAICS code. So if you're trying to go into real estate, that's a high risk NAICS code. If you're trying to get into the marijuana CBD business, high risk NAICS code. Okay, if you're selling like ammunition, anything gun related or whatever, is a high risk NAICS code. If you're in MLMs, multi-level marketing, high risk NAICS code. This is the thing. These are the things that most people will never explain when it comes to business funding. They know, oh, get a DUNS number, get a paydex, get some net 30s, but they'll never explain about the basic foundation that actually stops them from getting funding. And when you have a high risk NAICS code, you definitely can slow yourself down from getting the funding you need to expand. Now, here's another thing that you could do. If you have bad credit, another option for you is to incorporate somebody else into the business that has at least a 660, 680 credit score. Then they can actually apply for business credit cards, business loans on behalf of the company. Now, one of the things I would tell you, when you're trying to get business funding, do not go after business loans. The reason is you don't want to go after business loans, especially with traditional financial institutions like the major banks. The reason is it's too much red tape for them. They make it too challenging for you. They want all of this paperwork. You want to be able to build up your business credit funding with less paperwork as possible. If you want to deal with companies that's not going to ask you for a 4506T, meaning your taxes, you want to try to avoid companies. Like I said, Capital One Tap is the only one that will want to verify like bank statements or something like that. But again, the revenues that you need to make to be able to get that type of funding is very low. Okay, so this is very important. Now, if you have any other questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.